who mean what they say, that like if they say something, it's guaranteed to happen. And another thing that I like to chip in and say is being comfortable and uncomfortable. Who here is afraid of public speaking? Raise your hand.
Wow.
And like, I'm assuming you guys are much older than us, but we're still up here doing this because it's for a greater cause. And it's, the last thing I wanted to note on this was, it is much easier to talk to somebody about something that I can relate to. So by us youth leaders talking to youth, they're gonna listen to us more than they talk to you because they simply just do not relate with you as we relate to them. And so when we hear y'all speak to us, it's easy to say what y'all say, but y'all not experiencing what we experience. You're not waking up and feeling the way we feel. And so when we have a good role model, like the TAG ambassadors, who's going through what they're going through, but still persevering and still going on, it's like, all right, so now it's time to make a movement and a change, because if they can do it, I can do it too.
That's right.
And that's what that is.
So organizations just need to stay consistent and making sure that y'all are present. All right, we're gonna get into the third question. Building upon the theme of the conference, what inequities are currently impacting young people, their families, and the communities?
Mental health, social media, and influence. So on behalf of my generation, social media has put out an image of people living in their highlights. And many young people see that and try so hard to be like that and don't realize their own uniqueness. And so they chase something that's maybe not impossible, but false. It's just an image. And so it breaks them down inside mentally. And so we need to get down to the bottom of social media and mental health and just break it down and provide resources to our youth, showing them that that's not real life, and they're hurting themselves by chasing an image that's not real.
You said influence. Can you touch on that a little bit more for me?
So like, I feel like this generation follows a lot of trends, and so and social media has a big impact on that too, because you see something on social media, it then becomes viral, and now you want to do it or you want to follow it, and it may not always be the best or the right thing to do. It's just cool, and so people do it, and that's where the influence comes in.
Thank you.
To just touch back on what Booby said and the question as well, like a lot of the inequities that I've been seeing in the community is what me and my peers have been talking about for a while, is just also the environment they're growing up in, the community they're growing up in, the household they're growing up in, and also the influence, like the influence they're having in the household. A lot of the people, like social medias have a big impact as well too, but what's going on in the house is also what influences you. Your parent at the end of the day is gonna be your role model, because that's your parent. That's the person who raised you, that's the person who grew up like you looking up to. So what's going on in the household can also reflect what's going on outside of school or inside of school or out in the streets in the community as well too. The environment as well too. You growing up, some people grew up in urban at-risk communities where they don't have the resources. They have fast food places, not enough options, like healthy options, or just enough schools in that general area to give them a good education. So just growing up in certain communities, being dealt with certain situations can put you in a predicament where that's all you're used to, and that's the influence that you have on yourself. You can't really change the impact that you've had, like in your household, but you can change the impact that you can have on other people and learn from that, what you're learning at your house, and influence it into other people like we're doing in TAG as well too. We all go through stuff, everybody in the ambassadors have gone through stuff, and we've all influenced each other to do better and just make sure that we're all good, such as everybody else in the community. We are going to student, we're going to DA council meetings, student council meetings, community council meetings. We're voicing opinions on behalf of the youth to make sure that their voices are being heard, like the voiceless. We're speaking for the voiceless. So yeah, the influence on that. I think I'm saying too much for that.
So I feel like I'm gonna take it to into a different perspective. I feel like what it is when it comes to these communities is they're not ready for change. Like, it's so hard to change something that's been a norm for so many years.
That's good.
Talk about it. Like, like I always bring this up. When people think of gangs these days, you know, it's very violent. But if I look back in the days from how my uncles and how, you know, people used to describe it to me, it was something that was created to, you know, if they didn't have a father, that's your father figure. Those are your brothers. And then it just changes to something so, you know, dangerous and something so violent because of a few disagreements. Because I wasn't there to, you know, but I'm just saying. And it's like, it's something that's been here for so many years. So like when people are trying to put a change towards it, it's hard. And then another thing I'm gonna touch on is when it comes to families. We got the whole trend to where, like what we were saying, a lot of things are trending. The subway surfing within New York City, that is really trending. I was on a press conference with the mayor and stuff. I already bring it up because there was a mother there. She lost her child due to subway surfing. And the first thing that everybody did was point their finger at her. When they did that, that broke my heart because I'm like, this mother's grieving right now. She lost her child. Somebody lost their brother. Somebody lost, you know, their grandson, all of that. And the first thing y'all doing is blaming the mother. So when it comes to stuff like that, when it comes down to the trends, there's programs like us to even prevent that from being put into them kids' minds. Because there's more to life than hopping on top of a train and going viral.
Woo! Good.
And I'm gonna touch another thing with the youth, which is kind of related too. I feel like in general, we need to take accountability because when there's no accountability being taken for it and we're just pointing the finger at everybody else but ourselves, how do we expect anything to even move within, you know, process at all? But I'm gonna pass it on to the youth.
My brothers and sisters definitely touched up on the key points and everything. But another thing I would say is the lack of knowledge on the resources that we do have. Some of these resources aren't being advertised on the news or on the TV or on the social media that we use on a daily basis. So if these opportunities or if these services actually get advertised on TikTok or Instagram, which is one of the most used internet form that most of these youth use, it will be more lack of mental health, gun violence, drugs, most things like that. So
I'm gonna add on, like what he said too. Especially when it comes to TikTok, this is the main thing that literally youth from around the whole world are on. Everything that they see, you know. I'm not gonna lie. I stopped scrolling for a couple of months, but once I upgraded my data and my stuff, I'm like, yeah, I'm in there. I'm scrolling, I'm laughing and stuff. Then I had to catch myself. I'm like, recently I've been seeing a lot of, you know, true crime stuff. Over time, if you're seeing that true crime, you're gonna move around paranoid. And I'm bringing that as a point because whatever that you see most of, and whatever that you're, you know, just viewing, it's gonna be in your head. You're gonna live around with either, oh, I think that that's a trend, or I wanna try it, or like me, I'm paranoid, or I can't turn the corner without thinking someone's gonna be over there waiting for me, or I'm gonna be, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I wanted to add on. Like, I feel like most definitely what he said is important. We do need to push, instead of like trying to ban it, we need to push more positive things. Because banning something is only gonna create more
appetite.
Yeah, like it's gonna create a new problem. Especially because within our generations and stuff, y'all might talk about it on social media, but y'all have something too. Y'all parents do not approve hip hop. Y'all parents do not approve y'all, you know, sagging y'all pants, doing all of that. And it's like, it's just generational. It's always gonna be something that they don't approve of. But if we turn it and we make it positive, then you know it might have a different outcome. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna say.
So as a youth now, like to say they ate that up, right? So they definitely did their thing. I definitely agree with everything they just said, but I would also like to add that inequality, that I feel, inequity, I feel that we face in our community a lot. Like Ruby said, mental health. You guys don't know me, but I'm a huge mental health advocate just because I feel like as youth, we're so undermined with our mental health. Like, something my mom always says is like, you don't got no bills, you don't got no rent to pay with you. What mental health issues are you talking about? So it's like, it goes more than just having bills, it goes more than just having rent due or having something due. I agree, that definitely does add on to stress, but how about the impact that it has on the youth? How about the impact that it has on me seeing my mom cry because the bills are due? It's like, you guys, it's like, you never think about that. You don't think about how it could affect the youth. Yes, it's affecting you, but I'm in your presence. You're supposed to be my role model. The first person I'm looking at is you. So we definitely have to change that perception. The youth definitely does suffer from mental health, and who knows if more than adults. Another thing is, I say housing and food inequalities. I say that because one thing I always say is that we have many diseases that we have cures for in our face, but because it doesn't affect the wealthy or the higher up, we don't solve those diseases. When I say that, I say starvation. How many people are on the streets just asking for a meal? And we have all the food, we have food banks, we have everything right in front of our faces, but we're not giving those solutions for the simple fact that it's not affecting the higher ups, it's not affecting the people who matter, apparently. So it just goes right back into mental health. Mental health wasn't a thing until it started affecting those of power, those who have the money in their pockets. But what about those who are suffering from mental health and don't have the money or the resources to put in a kid into therapy?
That's good.
Or what about those who don't want to even realize that they have a mental health issue because it has to be normalized. It's something about, we need to normalize how young men can have feelings.
Come
how
on
a
now.
young black man can say, I love you, brother, I love you, sister.
Good.
That was great. Yeah, it was good. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. But this question is going to be for Caleb. You're part of TAG. You're part of the TAG program through Community Initiatives of New York. We heard from a little bit earlier about. First, can you tell us about TAG and what it stands for?
Well, TAG is teaching the generation.
And tell me about your experiences of being a part of TAG.
Well,
Tell him, kid.
I was a really shy kid, always in my shell, not really trying to talk to people for real. So a friend brought me over, a friend who was first already in the program, who was smart, outgoing, outstanding. He had all the good qualities a young youth should have. So he told me, like a regular boy, your slide's gonna be food. We just gonna talk, it's gonna be people. I'm like, oh, food, people, alright, that's what I like. So I came in, it was like regular self-growth conversations where we just talk among each other. And it was something that it really opened my mind to a mindset where I'm like, I can really learn from this. I can see myself going through this path, becoming a better version of myself. So along the line, we get introduced to go into outreaches where they teach us how to communicate with more people, network, going out in the streets, handing out flyers, talking about what the program is about. We started building up my talking skills where I'm not all the way there yet, I'll tell you that. I'm still
You got it.
Good, nephew.
But they actually put opportunities in front of me. They even give me a chance to be an MC at an event with Matthew Knowles. I don't know if y'all know who Matthew Knowles is. That's actually Beyonce and Beyonce's father. So I was the host for that event. So such experiences, I had people coming up to me telling me, oh, you did amazing. That was so articulate, which I didn't think of myself. So I'm like, wow, it gave me a different omen where I started feeling different about myself.
That's right.
Boost my confidence a little bit. But we're still in the growth and learning process, so we're still going.
That's good. Woo-hoo.
I have another question for the rest of the panel. It's a two-part question. How has TAG helped you on your path to success? And what is one thing that TAG is doing that other organizations could implement in their programs?
So,
Ladies first, come on.
okay. Yeah, heard the etiquette, right? I'm just saying tag. Alright, sorry. What tag? Okay. So, like Caleb said, me myself, I was a very shy individual. I already told you guys, I was a trouble teen. So it's like being able to really sit here and just look at everyone's faces and know, and like even when I was in the breakout rooms, like I was in breakout room number 1 and it was just so intellectual. Like I feel like the most powerful thing is being able to be a young person and walk into a room of people with power with your head up. Being able to walk into a room and know that your voice is going to be heard. Being able to just have complete silence and hear the echo of your voice when you're being heard. I feel like something so powerful is just having the power of being heard, having the power of your presence containing something. So definitely, what has TAG given me? TAG has given me confidence. TAG has given me love. These is like, you guys don't understand how much of a blessing I say it is when I see adults who care for the youth. Not adults who want to use us for optics, or how Rev likes to say, I'm so sorry for saying that. He wants to prostitute the youth. So when that's being said for the optics. Like, you don't want someone who's gonna say, oh yeah, let me hear what you have to say, and then 2 weeks later, oh yeah, the action is being taken, and then you never see the action being taken. So what did I just waste my breath for? So definitely just being able to knowing the power that your voice has, knowing the power that not only one voice can have, but that you can inspire so many others, is just a blessing within itself.
Alright, so for one, I started TAG through Summer Youth, SYP. I don't know, do they do that up here? Okay, just making sure. So I started through SYP. I'm gonna be honest with you, when I first started, it was hot. I do not like the heat. They had us outside. We passing flyers to people, I'm like, I'm over it. I'm tired. And then, but once I came to the TAG nights, I'm like, ooh, I like this. See, I'm messing with air conditioner. Ooh, I'm liking this. And then I got like a little bit of anxiety, but like I'm a go-getter. So I'm like, ooh, I wanna talk about this. When they asked the question, I stood up. Now I like how the whole room, literally we're all teams, everybody's listening. I feel like that's the main point. If people listening to you, they understand you. They understand where you come from. Everybody talking over you, not only is a lack of respect, but it's like, okay, you don't understand where I come from, I don't want to talk no more. Which is something I Rev was saying before too, especially in class. The main thing that the teacher would say is, be quiet, don't talk. But like in that space, everybody's allowed to talk. Everybody's allowed to express how they feel. No matter your background, no matter your religion, no matter where you come from, gender, all of that. And another thing too is some of the rooms that I've walked in, I never thought I would have walked in there. Like I'm bringing the press conference for them. I'm there, I'm nervous, I'm like, damn, look at all these rich people. And it's me. I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm seeing them with their little cue cards and stuff. There's like 50 cameras in my face. I'm like, all right, I got this, I'm gonna do this. And another thing that I'm really thankful for is that I have a strong African mother. When she came into this country, I feel like she didn't know that she was gonna have all the kids that she had, but that's why I'm so thankful for TAG, because the knowledge that she put into me, I'm able to express it to so many other people. When people hear me, they hear her talk. Just like my mother, when they hear me talking, that's my mother's wisdom. That's everything that she put into me, and I'm so thankful to all the, I would think that she's being harsh growing up. Everything that she's done said, all the strictness, it wasn't all for nothing. It was so I could be able to sit in a room like this in front of y'all and just, talk. And most importantly, Rev and Janet, I feel like as if they're very genuine people. they really care about us. I feel like me, I'm the type of person, I don't like to go based off the intuition, but I don't like sitting in a room full of fake people. I don't like fake people. If I'm in a room with fake people, I'm gonna be quiet. But if you hear me talking, that's because like it's really genuine people. Like once I got to know them, I'm like, okay, this feels like a second family. This feels like people that I'm comfortable talking to. After a while, I even opened up about my dad. Like that's another pointer. I don't know if they're gonna talk on that. When it comes down to breaking generational curses, like he was incarcerated in jail for 12 years. I don't talk about that to people, but I was so open with them. So I feel like, just to wrap it up, I feel like TAG is just an environment that you could be open in, for one, and just everybody got a different story, but who knows how the outcome could come. You feel me? But yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, I gotta add on to that. She did her thing once again. I just wanted to add that even for those children who don't have a mother like Tina's who pours out the wisdom into them, we have these executive directors who not only while raising their own family incorporates us. Like you don't feel that. You don't feel the genuine of somebody being able to say, I got you. Someone to put their hand on your shoulder and say, this fight is not for you, that's why it's so hard. So it's like having someone able to reflect on, someone to actually fall back on, is just a blessing beyond beliefs. And another thing I wanted to say was, I'm so sorry, when you had asked about what TAG was, what it stands for, something that Rev always says that really sticks with me is that it's like the tag on your clothing. So we all have tags on our clothing. The tag on our clothing says the brand, where it's from, what is it made out of, and how to take care of it. That's what our tag is. We want to let you guys know how to take care of us. We want to let you guys know where we're from, the diversity we come from, the different languages we can do, the different opportunities we can provide. That's what it is. Period. Okay, so I joined TAG same way how we all joined TAG through SYP. I've been here for about going on 4 years, I believe. When I first joined TAG, I'm gonna be so honest, I was very like closed off, but very open. I always had something to say, but I was always so standoffish. Miss Janet, Amy, I remember I met Amy my first year. Miss Janet took me and Amy under her wing. And ever since then, I was able to flourish in my leadership skills. Miss Janet always told me that one day, Kylie, you're gonna be a leader.
That's right. That's right.
Miss Janet always said that you're gonna be a leader, you're always gonna reach your goals, and don't ever let nobody stop you. Like I always grew up in an environment where my dad never really had a very good impact. My mom was very independent, so having my mom and Miss Janet there was very helpful. Like when everybody's saying here, like having someone who's genuinely caring about you, you don't see that. Like I'm telling you, you don't see that in New York City. Like people who genuinely care about your well-being, what you want to be in life, what you want to see. Miss Janet knew that I wanted to be a caregiver and I wanted to help young people and guide them. And what she did, she put me in schools to teach them social and emotional learning so I could put back into my community. And I really did appreciate that. I'm sorry being emotional, but I really did appreciate the fact that to teach middle schoolers and high schoolers social and emotional learning, teaching them how to maneuver through life from your own personal skills. And I'm not even grown up yet. I haven't even hit 19, I'm not even 19 yet. So Ms. Janet giving me the opportunity to be able to pour it back was so genuine and so true. There's not that many people like Ms. Janet and Rev, so this organization has really taught me and my ambassadors to be able to, you can take a bad situation and make it to something great, and not, what's that word? What was Ms. Janet said? Oh my God. Oh. Which one is a lot?
Mm-hmm.
She do talk a lot.
She said a lot to me, and I do be taking it in. When it comes to me, I'm gonna repeat it. I'm gonna cut one y'all off. I'm gonna say it. But Ms. Janet always believed in us. She always had courage in us. She always had confidence in us, and that's why she still does. That's why we're here at this table and on this piano right here, right now, voicing our concerns to y'all. So again, I appreciate Ms. Janet, and TAG has taught me so much. Leadership skills, I've been able to flourish, and yeah, I'm gonna just pass it over to you.
It's kind of hard to top that, you know. So my journey with joining TAG. So I want give y'all all the information about me, but
Give
before
it up.
Tag, I was kind of maybe not the best young man, was, a little troublemaker, was outside, cause I'm from Harlem, West Harlem, and growing up is a little gritty, so it's not easy, so you may have to move a certain way or do certain things, and with those who you hang around, you become. And so before I was, running around with the wrong types of crowds, and in my old school that I used to go to before the school I go to now, and I'm gonna get to my story later, but there was this counselor / advisor, Miss Marquette, and she knew Uncle and Miss J, right? That's what I call Reverend Miss Janet, because that's how much of a family we are. And
That's right.
she told him like how I was going downhill, and like he heard that and was like, yo, bring him in. And so I'm Muslim. I came to Tag around last year during Eid, and I walked in and Miss Janet was smiling. Like, yo, this lady was smiling. It was kind of strange. She just had a smile the whole time. I'm in my bazaar, and I walk in, and she's smiling. She was like, tell me about yourself. What do you want to do? And then I told her I wanted to be the president. And since that day until now, it's always the president, Ruby, you're here, the president, the president, the president. And so having people that believes in your goals and dreams more than you do, allowing you to believe in that and become it slowly. So back to the past. So through my old school, I seen somebody that I love dearly get shot, multiple deaths, ex-girlfriend killed by her brother. It's just so many things that's like, whoa, this young man is talking about traumatic things, but for me it's like, it's kind of normal and it happens often. And that's very sad that something so traumatic and disgusting and just violent happens. And so when I found Unc, he took me in, he taught me some things, and then I got transferred to Eagle Academy for Harlem. And there is just a school full with young men, and I slowly started to see the benefits on trying to become better and moving on from a past life and trying to just change my life. And so Tag definitely saved me, because if not here, I could have been dead or in jail. And so I thank Tag for that, for changing my whole life around.
Love you.
Let's give it up for this panel one more time. Y'all definitely heard today. Y'all in the room full of people who this is the work that we do. We're invested in the young people in our state, in our community. So I just want to let y'all know that y'all been heard, and Tag, y'all doing a wonderful job at y'all organization. And I think y'all
God be the glory. Send them girls.
For y'all. So,
thank you so much. One more time for our young people. I'm so proud of you all. Thank you for sharing this space with us and feeling comfortable enough to share this space with us. One time for Joaquin Anderson, our moderator.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Joaquin. The moment I said it, he was like, I'm down, Shalane. Tell me what you want me to do. So thank you for your yes before you even knew what I was signing you up for. Really quickly before we break for lunch, there is some lunches in the back for you all to enjoy. You can go out in the concourse and then come back promptly for our breakout sessions too. But really quickly, a lot of you may have noticed the art that is aligning both sides of the convention center. Some of you have also asked if it was for purchase. I don't know. But I wanted to bring up the 9th Floor Artist Collective first, and also following them, Yonkers Arts, and they'll talk a little bit about the art very briefly, expeditiously, thank you, about the art that you see and the work that they do with young people every single day. So first we'll have 9th Floor Artist Collective, and then we'll have Yonkers Arts and Ray Wilcox.
Good afternoon. Before I introduce myself, I have to say, President Booby, I believe you. I sincerely believe you. I believe you. I believe all of you. You know, I really appreciate all your words just now. Now, for something less important, I want to say that it's important as well. My name is Yakub Shabazz. I'm one of the founding members and the director of the 9th Floor Artist Collective in Rochester, New York. And we provide low-cost studio space for artists. We're one of only 2 Black-owned art collectives in the city of Rochester. I'm a teaching artist, born and raised on the south side of Chicago, and there's something that I want to